This video was brought to you by Best Buy. So, you've got a PS5 or Series X gaming setup, but you're looking to convert it into a professional game streaming setup. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys along as I convert a simple console gaming setup into a powerful live streaming setup. This will definitely help you in figuring out what is needed to convert your very own setup. Before I begin adding things to the current setup though, here's what I'm starting off with. First is a console like the PS5 or the Series X. I'm going to be making it so they're easily interchangeable for this setup. Next, I've got a 27-inch gaming monitor for the console, and finally, I've got a headset with a mic built into it. The items I'll be adding to create the streaming setup are some of the best out there from my personal experience, but I'm sure there's alternatives out there that you guys can use in place of them. Now, the biggest part of the entire process is usually getting every single part you're going to need. Once that's done, setting it all up is all that's left. The first thing I added to the mix is a PC with an Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card. This also meant I'll need some accessories to use with it. I went ahead and added a portable 15.6-inch 4K monitor for the PC next, and I went for that size to save space on the desk. Honestly, any basic keyboard or mouse combo would work for a streaming PC. The next thing I added was the Elgato Wave Mic 3. This mic is probably one of the best out there for streaming setups due to its low profile and how well it just fits into any setup like that. More importantly, since Elgato focuses on streaming, they've got a lot of really great accessories that work well together. The mic is mounted onto the low profile Wave Mic arm from the same Elgato again. The Wave Mic arm has great cable management pathways and it tucks away and folds to the side so nicely. The Wave 3 is a USB mic, of course, so I connected that directly to the streaming PC. The Stream Deck control center was my next addition to the desk, and this can do a lot for any streaming setup, but we'll get more into that later. The next step was to add some lights, and there's a few options for these out there, but personally, I prefer to use Elgato's key lights. For this setup, I chose to install two of them. One as the main and the other one as a side or a backlight to create, a little bit of a 3D depth or effect. Around now, I noticed the mic wasn't a good fit on the far left, so I decided to bring that over to the right side, closer to the PC as well as the monitor. A camera is the next addition, and this is super important for any streaming setup unless you don't plan on showing your face, which honestly isn't advisable. There's so many options for this out there, but I personally chose to add the Canon EOS R10 to the right side of the desk using a simple desk arm. The camera desk arm uses a clamp style, which is great for saving space on the desk as well. Honestly, I don't know any nice game streaming setups without a gaming chair, so I had to add that next. The one I chose is called the Razer Iskur X. The setup and installation process for this thing was super fast and easy, and they also provided a manual with the complete 9-step process. Yeah, just 9 steps. The desk space was extremely limited after adding everything, so I added a clamp style headset mount to the left corner of the desk, which turned out great. All that was left at this point was to make the final connections. So I used a micro HDMI cable in combination with an Elgato Camlink 4K to connect the camera to the PC. Then I used a dummy battery kit to provide unlimited power to the camera so I never run out of battery while streaming. Before making HDMI connections between the console, the monitor, and the PC, I disabled HDCP on the PS5 in the settings menu. So for the Xbox, I didn't have to do anything. I don't know why, but it just worked. On the Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card, there's an HDMI in and an out port. Using a high quality HDMI cable, I connected the monitor to the card using the out port and the Series X to the card using the in port. This way, the connection from the console to the monitor basically passes through the capture card installed inside of the PC. At this point, connecting all the hardware was pretty much done. All that was left was to set up the software side of things. The first thing I did was download all Elgato software that I needed for each product that I added, as well as OBS, which is a well-known software for streaming to pretty much any platform of your choice. For the Elgato key lights, there's the Control Center software, which also has a phone app. It'll let you control the power, the brightness, and the temperature of each Elgato key light that you've got connected to it through Wi-Fi. I think it's pretty sick and a very useful feature, especially when streaming. Another software is 4K Utility Pro, which is what communicates with the capture card inside of the PC to allow high quality gameplay capture from any console up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR. The 4K 60 Pro capture card can only be installed inside a PCIe slot inside of a desktop PC, and this is why the best or the perfect streaming setup for a console has to, be with a desktop as opposed to a laptop. The card and software also work best with NVIDIA graphics cards since it's got a decoder, specifically made for streaming. The Elgato sound and mixer software for the mic also lets you set up the Wave 3. It allows you to tweak all kinds of settings related to the mic as well as apply various effects like, noise removal or even reverb. The Camlink 4K software is what will allow the camera to pass through video through a single HDMI to USB connection. The quality coming in looks great in 4K, and this allows the use of the camera with literally any webcam software that you've got on your PC. For the Canon R10, you also want to turn off the on-screen camera information by pushing on the info button, until the screen is pretty much clear. To use the headset with the streaming setup, I connected it to the PC and set it up in OBS Studio. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but I'm not really getting into OBS in this video. OBS pretty much brings every device within the setup together for streaming. I pretty much had to connect the headset, the mic, the camera, and the capture card to it, and then create a scene where they all combine together to be recorded or live streamed. Setting up basic OBS is easy, but there's always minor changes and software updates, so I'll suggest looking up whatever the current guide is online right now to help with that. Once OBS has been set up and connected to any streaming platform, all that's left is to press stream and go live. Alright, so everything's pretty much set up now. As you can see, we've got the mic, we've got the camera, we've got the system, everything is all hooked up and ready to go. So all you got to do at this point is hit start streaming or start recording from the streaming software. So I'm using OBS and I'm currently recording. I'm not streaming, but if you wanted to stream, it's pretty much the same thing. You just have to connect whatever platform you'd like to stream onto and then just hit stream and you'll go live. There's a little bit more to that. Just do a little bit of research. Google is your friend on that one. But right now I've got game audio coming out of the headphones as well as whatever I've got playing on my system, like my computer itself. So I could always just have like some kind of different background music playing as well as listen to game audio from this headphones. And then I've got the mic here to capture my audio, whatever I'm saying right now. Go ahead and let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the sound quality out of this Wave 3 mic. I think it sounds pretty good, especially for streamers. As you can see, I've also got the Canon camera right now. It's recording and feeding the Elgato Camlink 4K. So we're getting 4K at 60 frames per second from the camera right now being recorded, onto OBS. The same thing goes with the 4K 60 Pro capture card that I've got inside the PC. So that's helping us capture 4K at 60 frames per second gameplay as well from the console, which in this case is the PS5. But like I said, you can always interchange and switch out and use the Xbox Series X. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit right now just so you guys can kind of see how this thing works. Okay, I've got God of War going on right now, and I never actually got a chance to finish this game. Ooh. I'm playing on Give Me God of War right now. It's like the hardest difficulty. And I'm not sure if I feel like I'm a little rusty right now. Like, I'm a little rusty. And I hate these elves, man. Crazy. Gotta lock onto this guy. There we go. The Stream Deck, which I added to the center of the desk earlier, is great for using quick commands. It's super customizable to whatever actions you use the most. I set it up with commands to quickly start or stop a recording or a live stream session, and that can come in very handy as opposed to trying to grab the mouse and trying to figure out what tab you've got it open on and whatnot. I've also got controls for other things like my Spotify playlist, or even running a quick internet speed test, which is very handy because you need a really good internet connection to stream. If you want to stream correctly without having dropping connections and all of that, you need to have a strong internet connection. Personally, I'll always recommend going for a wired connection for your streaming PC. As for the PC build, you don't need the most powerful system out there, but you'd want one with the minimum requirements for the stream quality that you're aiming for. The higher the quality, the more power your PC will need to have. You can find out PC requirements for streaming by searching it up on Google. Every software has different streaming requirements, and different quality that you're aiming for will have different minimum requirements. I'm only keeping one console at the setup to reduce clutter, but that can easily be swapped out to record or stream from a different console. On the Wave 3 mic, there's a control knob for easily increasing or reducing the volume. There's also an AUX jack on the rear for monitoring audio coming directly from the mic. With the Canon R10 camera, you also get a super lightweight camera that can be used without the setup. It's got a nice flip out screen for people who like to vlog or live stream on the go. With the right accessories, you can get up to 4K at 60 frames per second when connected to a streaming setup like this one. The Iskur X gaming chair from Razer was made for gamers, so it's guaranteed to make you look great on stream. It also feels comfortable to sit at for extended periods and comes with controls for controlling the seat height and the armrests. The backrest can also be reclined for a more laid-back gaming session. I honestly think this finishes up the gaming setup look nicely. At the end of the day, the concept remains the same regardless of what equipment you use and how you set them up. This is just one way I set up a console streaming setup using either the PS5 or the Series X. Go ahead and comment down below what you guys think about this setup and if you would ever consider getting into streaming games or just anything at all. That's pretty much it for this one. You can find out more information on all featured items down in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. It's Tommy, and I'm out, y'all. Man, I turned on my blog. Well, I did my best.